Hi everyone! So I decided to do a little bit of a cooking tutorial for you guys, which is really exciting. I guess technically it's a baking tutorial. I decided to get super autumnal and make the best thing that I have ever heard, which is pumpkin salted caramel
Snickerdoodles.
I know. They were incredible. I decided to kind of mix two recipes that I found on Pinterest. One was just a salted caramel snickerdoodle, and the other was a pumpkin snickerdoodle. It's like a cheesecake. Pumpkin cheesecake snickerdoodle. Yeah, that one. But I found the salted caramel one first, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm making this one. And then I kept scrolling through my Noms board, which I'll list my Pinterest below. It's pretty amazing. I love my Pinterest. But anyways, and then I found the pumpkin cheesecake snickerdoodle. The actual recipe that I used is for the pumpkin cheesecake snickerdoodles. So I'm gonna have that linked down below for you guys. So if you do want to make it with cheesecake filling, you can. I believe it's just like cream cheese and sugar mixed together and stuff like that, but I was just so obsessed with the idea of pumpkin salted caramel snickerdoodles that I had to make these for you guys. They came out amazing. A little fat, but there is nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy my first little baking tutorial. To start, you're going to need 3 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1 cup of unsalted butter at room temperature. It's pretty much 2 sticks, and I used salted. 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of light brown sugar, 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin puree. I used organic, but it's really up to you. One large egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I had to use my measuring cup because I had no more of these cute little containers. And then caramels for each cookie. In a medium mixing bowl, you're going to want to add your flour, your baking soda and salt, cinnamon and nutmeg, and whisk it all together. Pretty much just your dry ingredients you want to add together at this time. And set that aside. In a large mixing bowl, we're going to mix together our 2 sticks of butter and start mashing that all up together to make it a little bit creamier. Now this is already at room temperature, so it's going to be pretty creamy, but I just want to get it well incorporated. Now we're going to start to cream together our granulated sugar and our butter. I usually do about half of the amount of sugar at a time because I like to mix it by hand, but if you're using an upright mixer or a hand mixer, you could really add it all together. Now we're going to add the rest of our sugar and mix it to a creamy consistency. Now we're going to add in our brown sugar. Once again, make sure everything is very well incorporated. Yum! Now we're going to add in our pumpkin, and once again, just really make sure everything is well blended and well incorporated, and make sure you try to keep all of your ingredients off the sides of the bowl so that everything gets in there when you're mixing. Also yum. Now our egg, and this part is gross to me. It just gets so gloopy and separated and looks so unattractive. But eventually we get to a nice creamy consistency once again. Now we are going to add in our dry ingredients 1 cup at a time. I'm putting this back to normal speed so you can see just how slowly I am mixing this. If you are using a tabletop mixer or a hand mixer, you're going to want to do this on the slowest speed possible, or else flour is going to go absolutely everywhere. Just keep mixing until everything is well incorporated and you can't really see any more flour and there aren't any clumps. I was supposed to add in the vanilla when mixing together the wet ingredients, but oh well. Now I'm adding in my 2nd cup of the dry ingredients, and things are about to get a little bit harder, especially if you're hand mixing this. Mix until once again it is at a creamy consistency. 3rd cup. Make sure you scrape off your spoon every so often just to make sure everything gets well mixed. And 4th cup. By the way, do you guys like my pajama shorts? They're super fancy. And the rest. This part is so freaking hard, because at this point it's almost like paste. It's just so difficult to mix together well. Whoopsie! But I did it! Yay! Now you're going to put your dough in the fridge for at least 15 minutes, but up to an hour and even overnight if you feel like it, just so the dough can set. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 177 degrees Celsius. Now for the coating, you're going to need 1 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of ground ginger. You're just going to want to mix it all up together so everything is well incorporated and it's like a tan brown color. Set aside your coating mixture and we are going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper. I find that if I flip it upside down, it won't roll back up on me, and you can just smooth it out and you are good to go. Now we need our rolling mixture, our caramels, and of course our dough. Going to use a teaspoon and roll them into small balls and then flatten them out and put the caramel inside. Then you're going to want to pinch it up, almost making like a little pocket, and if you have any holes or anything, you can use a little extra dough. Then you're going to roll it in the mixture. I'm using coarse salt for the top because these are salted caramel. Flatten out your cookie, put some salt on top. Now we're going to want to do the whole process again. Roll up your dough, flatten it out, pop a caramel in there, pinch, roll it in our sugar mixture, cookie sheet, press, and salt. I ended up only making 12 cookies and froze the rest of the dough, but this recipe is for 24. Now you are going to put your cookies into your preheated oven. Set the timer for 10 to 15 minutes. I ended up doing 15. I thought this would be a much more eventful, time-lapse, cookie cooking thing, but it ended up not really being that eventful. The cookies kind of stayed the same size, and I do wish that I flattened them out just a little bit more because they almost were like cake cookies, which ended up being tasty, but they were really thick. Put your cookies on a rack to cool, and then look at the deliciousness of these cookies. Oh, look at the caramel. Needless to say, I enjoyed them very, very much, as you can see by that face there. Oh man, these are so good. And this is a couple of days later too. And they're so ooey gooey and freaking wonderful. But anyways, I'll put my cookie down. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you want me to do some more baking tutorials or cooking tutorials, because I have a lot of ideas up my sleeve. And I have a couple like cosmetic cooking tutorials. Making? DIYs? I don't know. Creating with me. I guess. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future, especially more baking and cooking tutorials. So I will see you guys all next week.